Hey, everybody, welcome to my channel. My name's Chris Kent, and you're listening to Continuum Comics. I used to own a comic book store in Mansfield, Ohio called Continuum Comics and Games. My attitude when I owned my own business was if you're going to bother owning your own business, you may as well do it on your terms, right? Like, if otherwise, why do it? So for me, it was a priority that I made it a welcoming place where everybody wanted to hang out. So we were always busy. We always had people there. I the first thing I did when I bought the place was I added a couch and a TV. Um, in my town in the 80s was pretty nice back then. The mall was fun to hang out at. Now it's a dead mall. Um, we would go roller skating and stuff like that. All those places are closed. There's just nothing fun to do. I would say by the year 2000, there was basically nothing fun to do anymore. So I was trying to combat that, you know. I was giving people a fun place to hang out. There were a lot of kids that would just go there after school. And it was a nice little community that we had going. At any rate, I miss those days. Um, I closed my doors about 20 years ago because I got married. I had kids on the way. And for me, the way it worked was basically the business just sort of drew even. With a family coming, I had to be making more money. I was taking care of people other than myself. Um, so yeah. So at any rate, I kept an eye on what was going on with comic books after that, but I wasn't really that into it. I felt like right after my business went under, maybe a year later is when DC Comics killed off Blue Beetle, Ted Kord. A lot of people have commented that they feel like that's when they noticed a change. Things started to get kind of darker. Um, at Marvel, they did Secret Invasion. And I don't know if you've actually read Secret Invasion, but it's also surprisingly dark. Um, they killed off the original Golden Age Superman in DC had so many crises. I don't know which one that one was. Was that Infinite Crisis or Final Crisis? I couldn't even tell you. But at any rate, suffice it to say, I haven't been into comics for years. I was really into comics in the 90s. I actually prefer comics that are even older than that. I love the Bronze Age. I found a website where you can read comic books online for free, and I've been reading Amazing Spider-Man, and it is probably my favorite comic book of all time in terms of the writing. Um, so at any rate, with like the writer's strike in Hollywood right now and stuff like that, a lot of people are saying that they don't know, how do I want to put it? People are disappointed with their entertainment options right now. And I feel like it's up to us fans then to create. And the reason that I had even gotten involved with comic books was because I wanted to become a comic book artist. I went to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh. I also went to Ashland University and majored in art. So I do have an art background. Part of the time, these days, I am an art teacher. I'm not teaching right now because where I was teaching at the art center, they're kind of tightening their belt too. Um, so they got to watch how many people they are um, employing. And I was teaching how to make comic books. I was teaching traditional animation, like cell animation. Um, and the thing is, the interest in a lot of those things is starting to go down. And I think all of this stuff that's going on, how, like I said earlier, where people are sort of disgruntled with the state of comics, it's all interconnected. So as of right now, my plan is to make um, a comic in some way, shape, or form, and I'm going to try to put it online for free. Um, and then we're going to see if we can sort of get the ball rolling, and maybe if other people are interested in contributing, we can kind of, in a way, do what Image Comics did, um, which was it started with kind of a core group of creators, and they were unhappy with some of the stuff going on in comics at the time, the late 80s. But then they were pulling in other people, right? And that was giving people a platform where they could create their own stuff, tell their own stories. They were in control of their characters. Um, so I'm talking with a handful of other friends right now, and we all like Superman quite a bit. We're sort of sad by TV shows like The Boys or Invincible, where they both feature a Superman character that is evil. And a lot of us feel like there's a version of Superman that we all kind of have this idea, the same idea in our heads. And we feel like you've never actually seen this before. And I'll even go so far as to say, even in DC Comics, I don't feel like they have ever done it the way we're thinking of doing it. And right now, the working title is Ultraman, which is not terribly inspired. Also, the evil Superman from Earth 3 is called Ultraman, so I don't know if we can even get away with that if we're not making any money on it, which goes back to that whole thing about it being free. Um, so I don't know yet. Everything's kind of up in the air. Um, but it's going to involve crowdsourcing, and so that's why this is a YouTube channel. So if people have suggestions or ideas or whatever, um, we're going to be doing some live streaming in the future and some things of that nature. And this is going to be a great place for people to contribute. And, instead of complaining about what you don't like about comics these days, right? Let's instead take what we do like about the comic book medium and put that to paper and, scan it and upload it and all that jazz. So at any rate, welcome to Continuum Comics. I'm looking forward to what we're going to be doing in the future. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.